So one thing I'm learning is my perfectionism stops me from enjoying the job, and sometimes I fail anyway. I still make mistakes. So I might as well enjoy it, make a mistake, rather than not enjoy it, agonize over perfection, and make a mistake anyway. So let's just cut it. Scott Brown here. In this exciting episode, we're building windows, 2 windows in fact. One's for a bathroom, one's for an office. They are timber windows made to match my 1962 house. If you have been following my house project, you'll know that I have been double glazing all my existing windows, and we're about 80% there. Most of the windows are double glazed now, but I need to build 2 new windows for this wall. I'm going to try and demystify it because I feel like with all the terminology used to describe the different parts of a window, it can get a little bit complicated. So let's try and keep it simple. Let's just focus on what the window is for and how it's built. Let's build 2 timber windows. But first, where our windows are going. So here's the plan. These windows, they're disappearing. The new bathroom's going to be in the exact same place, except we're only going to have 1 window, and it's going to be a long skinny one down there. Now over here is the second window we're going to build, and that's for the office. So I figure we do both windows at the same time because they're on the same wall, and that way when we do the cladding we can do it to completion. Alright, so the first piece, and probably the most complicated piece, is the timber sill. It's complicated because it's got all these different angles on it, and it has to be a durable timber. So in this case, I am recycling an old sill from one of my old windows. It's heart remu. Remu is a native timber here in New Zealand. It's durable, and once it's painted, it can last, well, evidently 60, 70 years. Alright, without getting too lost in the weeds, let's explain the items that make up a window. The sill. This is the bottom part of the window frame, and it sticks out further than the rest of the window so water can go out. After that, you have these boards that form the face of the window. They're called the facings. Now the sash is the part that holds the glass, the moving part, like this window over here. And finally, for the items that you can see on the outside of a timber window, you have the mullion. It's really used for when windows get wider to help hold up the weight of the top of the window. It's like a post. Now the bottom is the sill, as we've just seen. The sides and the top of this box is called the jamb, the window jamb. See how there's a step in it? That step is to allow the glass part to close into something. Now typically it's like this. It's made out of 1 piece, big rebate, but I'm going to do it out of 2 pieces. The first piece is going to be out of treated pine. Alright. That won't be obvious to you, but that is not the board that you just saw me put on the roof. I drove away with a different board on the roof, and then I thought to myself, that's not thick enough for a window. So I went back and got a thicker board. Now I wanted to get the thicker stuff because 20mm is a bit too thin. It doesn't really hold itself straight. Hopefully 28mm will. Like I said before, it has a rebate, and I'm going to do it in 2 pieces. So that treated pine is the first piece, the widest piece. I'm going to laminate onto it. And the reason I'm separating it is because I want to use a nicer timber. But for now, we just have the flat window jamb, just so we can get the outside part done. So this checkout should make the frame stronger. I'm basically just copying the windows that are there now. My existing windows that are 70 years old and have not failed, so yeah, why not do it the same way? One area where it might not be as high quality as the older windows is the timber. Look at that. I just bought that. You saw me buy it. It's already a bloody banana. Alright, it's starting to take shape. Alright, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm struggling with this window. Especially the bathroom one, because that one's got a sash in it. And I've made it maximum height, so there's not a lot of room for error. So I wanted to make this fun, fast-paced video of me building windows, showing you how to do it, but I'm not sure I know how to do it. Drawing helps. I think part of what is confusing me is angles. Having all these slopes. So I drew a couple of square lines on the end here to get the heights between all these different points on the sloping timber. These are all the reasons why I was very hesitant to build my own windows. My uncle encouraged me to do it. He said, "You're talented enough, Scott, you should be able to build your own windows." And he's right, I should be able to do this. It's blimmin' tricky though. Now's a moment of truth where I cut the sides to length, and if all of this is correct, if everything I worked up before is correct, then my calculations here should work. Because one thing I'm learning is my perfectionism stops me from enjoying the job, and sometimes I fail anyway. So let's just cut it. I won't really know until it's all together. But before we do that, there's a couple more steps. We're at the all-important part where I have to screw the windows together. And I have to admit something. I didn't build the sash, therefore I can't show you how it's put together. But to give you an idea, you can see the join here, there's an angle, and then there's a right angle, and then it slopes back. And that way this long piece interlocks nicely with this piece here. Now I wanted that to be done nicely because there's no room for error with these kind of timber windows. If you've got a little gap because your join wasn't correct, you'll see that gap, you can't fill it. So I got a local joinery company to make that, and they also supplied me with that sill over there, the new one. So full disclosure, kind of the hard part is done for me. And the people that made my window sash for me also used this glue to put it together. So I'm taking their advice and using it to attach my jambs to my sill. So this is how we make the sill waterproof. See the slope here? That's all sloping outward. Now any water that goes down the jam, no matter where it happens to be, it should hit here and then go out. That's why we have a little dam there, so it channels the water that way rather than into the house. Getting good squeeze out there, that's great. That means it's connecting and it's nice and tight. There's nowhere for the glue to go. Oh yeah. Alright, so this recycled sill adds some complexity. I mucked up this end over here. I don't have that little dam that I use to tighten the jambs up against the edge of the sills. So we're gonna have to improvise. I am damaged. Oh no. Oh my god. There's so much for a blemish-free window. That sucks. Ooh, the red! So a lot of sanding needs to be done.
Right, so a little bit of the, what's that bit called again?
Sash.
Stuck to here.
Yeah.
And where will this be visible from? From the inside?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh no. Think of it as part of the patina. It's kind of like the rough patch in the separate toilet where you were so tired while you were painting the opposite wall, and
yes.
You leant back and got it all on your t-shirt.
Yeah, and that's
it just tells the story. I tell everyone who looks at it now. Yeah. I know you. It doesn't bother me, but I know it bothers you.
So this glue is like I guess like a plasticky kind of glue. And the good thing about it is it expands, so it fills all the gaps and gets a nice seal. And then all you need to do is snap off the excess. It's that exciting moment. That exciting moment where I put a sash in and I put hinges on that sash. So the window is going to open kind of like this door here, but this door here is on door hinges, appropriately named. So it swings that way, but it isn't the exact way that we're going to do it on the window. I want to use the same kind of hinges that are on these windows. They are friction stays. See that there? It allows a gap to open up there, and they hold themselves even with the heavy double glazing. So it's the same kind of hinge, except it's going to open like the door. Fits, it fits!
I think we do very often, but in the business situation, we might do it.
This is the moment of truth. I've got to cut some of that sash. I've already cut it to length. That was a bit nerve-wracking. And I've been procrastinating all morning because I need to cut the little rebate where the hinge sits in. So rather than doing the job I need to do, I've been cleaning the garage and just generally anything except doing this task. But now I'm doing it. Making a jig here. And I think I'm nervous because I got someone else to make the sash. So if I mess this up, I don't know how to remake the sash. I'd have to go back to that person and get it made again. Just got to get on with it. And step one, make the jig. Check the sash height. So I have already cut this to fit. Rather it was too long than too short after all. So that's a bit tight, I need to trim that a bit more. You can see it opening up there. So even with this timber that I've just bought, it's still a bit of a David Bowie. So once I trim this to fit perfectly, then I do step 2, which is mark the hinge locations. And then step 3 we've already done, make the pattern jig for the router. And then, without further ado, we're ready to router it. I'm really nervous. Not as smooth a job as I would have hoped. See that there? It ran a straight line, but here it just kind of chipped out on that corner. So when you look at the window on the inside, I mean, it's not bad. I could tidy that up for sure. Alright, let's do the top. It worked. My card cut out, that's why the footage stopped, but the cut worked. Coming in from each end with the router like this and like this made it so it didn't chip out, particularly on this bend here. So I'm very happy with that. And now that that's done, I can fix the hinges. That was the next step on my list. And then I can fix the hinges to the window frame. And then the last step on my list that I wrote for myself. Celebrate my great success! Yay! Look, a window.
Wow!
Come on.
Totally natural reaction. Was that what you meant by act natural, Scott?
Perfect.
What? Oh my God! No, it's amazing.
I know, it's a window. I know you're excited.
I actually am excited. That was an honest reaction. It's I'm not joking. Anything that progresses this bathroom along is super exciting.
But that's pretty much how it opens.
So cool. My hands are a bit greasy. Is that okay?
I wouldn't touch the seal.
Okay, maybe you
grease.
don't touch it then. Make it so it's like you can't see anything, but it's still open. Keep going, keep going. Yeah, look at that, and that's open.
We have a potential issue where, because it's opening this way towards the backyard.
Someone can look at you right on the bog.
Because the bathroom layout, you're over there sitting on the toilet.
And hopefully whoever's on the toilet is going to realise, but last thing you want is you sit down, you get comfortable, and then you go...
What are you doing?
I'm checking that I can see through this window. It's important to, it's important to be able to look through a window. I would say just as important for your customers to be able to look through your website.
Maybe you have a business and maybe that business needs a homepage where you can promote your website and all the services that you provide. Or maybe you're selling a product. Either way, Squarespace is your friend. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform where you can build your online presence and run your business. If you have a product to sell, Squarespace is fantastic because they have e-commerce functionality built into the platform. You can list and sell your items right there on the website, and they have all the major payment services as well. And if you do building services like what I do, you can even invoice your clients via your Squarespace website. If you're just starting out a website and you need a custom domain, they also provide custom domains. And if you already have a custom domain on another platform, they have a website transfer where you can bring that custom domain over to Squarespace. It really is an all-in-one platform and it's super easy to use with its drag and drop functionality. If you don't believe me, you can try out their free trial. It's free. But once you're ready to launch your own website, make sure you go over to squarespace.com/Scott Brown Carpentry and you can save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. What is going on? Ooh.
Blackberry?
Really good.
Oh my God.
So this window will be positioned roughly here. You might have noticed over there in the corner that office window has already been installed. That will be the next exciting episode. My friend Robbie came over and helped me with it. And yeah, we'll go over exactly how we install those things and eventually we'll put facings and all that stuff to complete the window.
So when I watch this video that you've just made, am I going to finally understand what each of the components of a window is? Because every time you're like sash, jam, the other stuff, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, what is this one called?
Are you going to give them like the Dora the Explorer chance to like figure it out? And then it's like, there he is, Swipehill.
I won't be that patronizing.
No.
This is the sash.
That's the sash.
Yes.
Cool. What's a jam?
That's this part.
When you say this, do you mean this as well? Or
Yes, this whole
thing.
This whole thing here, jam.
Okay, so it's confusing because normally in a sandwich the jam goes in the sandwich, but in this case the jam's on the outside.
That's right.
Like a scone.
That's the sill.
Well, what are you talking? Are you this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't say it earlier, but just to confuse things even more, this is the header.
So is that not the jam?
Well, I just call it the jam, but some people would call it the header.
But the header is part of the jam.
Yes. Oh, and also, the timber that goes in here, that's called the reveal, but that's not there yet.
Learning a lot at the moment. Japanese, how to make sourdough, and window components. Sash, jam, header, which is part of the jam, sill.
And reveal.
Oh shit. But that's not there yet.
That's right.
You haven't revealed it yet. So is that the end of the video?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, well done. I think it's time to go to the beach now. Build a window, go for a swim. That's the rule. Come on.
Cut to some shots of the beach.
Let's go.
Hey, thank you for watching this exciting episode. Like I said, in the next one, we are going to put this window in. And I'm just going to progress with the bathroom and everything that needs to be done here. We're going non-stop because this year we're going to Japan. So we need to get this thing done before then. Also, I resolved the mess up of the sash. So all I did was flip the sash around so the damage is on the outside. The good thing about the damage being on the outside is painted, just like the rest of the windows, so I'll be able to fill and paint that damage. And then on the inside we get the nice clean cedar, and in a way it's more secure because the nail-on beads will be on the inside as well. The other thing I wanted to say was I am dedicating this episode to my Uncle Andy. He's the one who encouraged me to make this window. He sadly passed away in January, and the last time I saw him, we talked about these windows, of all the things in the world. So trivial in light of everything, but he encouraged me because he was asking me why the bathroom was taking so long, because he followed along on the videos, and when I told him it was because I was struggling to get windows made, he said, why don't you make them yourself? And yeah, that is trivial in light of everything, so dedicating a YouTube video to him seems like nothing, but it was a sign of the kind of person he was. He encouraged me in my whole life. Right down to me moving to New Zealand. He encouraged my parents when I was just a kid to move to New Zealand after he moved here himself. So I owe him a lot. If it wasn't for him, my life would be very different. So thank you, Uncle Andy. And you're right, I can build some windows. Alright, I'll see you in the next exciting episode.